Sotavati kana buli da me bike mundo. Patana ngu bike tai wana tambani bula. Dona tamani visa uliv. Kali wana ngu baka malamalek. Wana buli mai da kito. Tali tak. Ramaro tak talangana leoni kor. Wana buli mai dak.
Climate change is being felt more frequently, with the impacts of natural disasters becoming more drastic. We're seeing more landslides, droughts, inundation, and sea level rise. And these impacts extend on to affect food security, communal living, economies, and more. Governments, agencies, and communities have been responding to climate change and its impacts in many ways. Some of the more tangible responses have been with the setup or upgrade of equipment and facilities to be able to deal with some of these climate-induced emergencies. There has also been a lot of training for first responders and communities around preparedness and resilience in dealing with disasters and the ongoing effects of climate change.
So addressing climate change and disaster resilience and mitigation in our region, of course, is one of the biggest challenges for us. And part of the work and the response to those efforts, of course, has been around education and training. This particular project, the PACTIVET project, has been about that. The design and the preparation of working with a cohort of our community to build their knowledge, to build their understanding around resilience, so that they can, of course, not only manage preparation better, but of course build that resource and capacity within themselves and within their communities.
Since 2014, a European Union-funded project has been working towards mainstreaming climate change adaptation and sustainable energy in tertiary curricula in 14 Pacific Island countries and Timor-Leste.
Climate change and energy security are major issues that are hindering development in the Pacific. So PACTIVET has addressed this through development of competency-based qualifications to enhance the technical expertise and to strengthen the capacity of our people in the Pacific to respond to the climate change and sustainable energy challenges.
This program, resilience, has about 7 specific areas, like it has fisheries, coastal management, agriculture, water resources, tourism, forestry, etc.
It is an eye-opening program, and I learned so many things with regards to climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction. And as we move into the new era, there's a high expectation from those who go through this training.
Students that have been working in NGOs, most of them work in government, so they're working on the different sectors in resilience, climate change adaptation, disaster risk reduction. So we have a mixture of students from various sectors. That we also have students that are from the communities. So for Certificate 1, the training is mostly done by the national training centers. So in Fiji, for example, we have the Ministry of Youth and Sports who are currently delivering the Certificate Level 1 course. And this training is mostly targeted towards communities.
Sa bulida sa titik kau na batini udiwai, me taruki na sisiningele, na wai, me kunin dombenu dina wai.
Kito nito tombuni wai tiko sar me bikau. Kito me rete kiran dor bisa uliu, balata nito deme, dem sa tu vada kita lekena simende me bakal lebutaki. Ando tako so tiko na tamata na toloni wai. Ata vakane kau-kawa, meron tau tako so gina batini ra bakal tete tu me bikau. Na toloni wai na kor sambulu taki koran tu tungai dake. Wa sambulu taki mai. Aki me rete kiran dor bisau. Angin ron mai bakal pinaka na wai.
This is quite a new initiative, not only in the region but globally as well. So we have people from other parts of the global community talking to us about this initiative.
The €6.3 million project is being implemented by the Pacific Community, SPC, in partnership with the University of the South Pacific, USP.
The fight against climate change, the promotion of biodiversity, sustainable development, resilience, it has to be a global effort. That's the reason why it is in our own interest to empower all the people in the world, and certainly in the Pacific, you stand at the front line of climate change. So it makes a lot of sense to give you the capacity, because this is a fight, to educate and train and form the climate warriors of tomorrow. the biodiversity warriors of tomorrow, the resilience warriors of tomorrow. And even though it starts at a very early age, the formative years are when you get into tertiary education. So that's the rationale, that's where we come from. We want to promote the European Green Deal with everything which comes with it. We recognize that the Pacific is a key region in the world for that matter, and we want to make sure that people from this region of the world are equipped with the skills and competencies to play a significant role and to be the warriors of tomorrow in that big global fight.
So being exposed to new ways of thinking, particularly about resilience and climate change, is really, I think, helping our communities approach these problems quite differently, and to think about becoming much more adaptable in their responses, but of course being much more flexible. You know, we're incredibly grateful to all the partners and stakeholders that have been involved in this project. As I mentioned before, it is a global first, this kind of work. And we could not have delivered this program without, of course, the help of USP. But I particularly want to make mention of the Fiji Higher Education Commission, who really supported the development of those qualifications in a very, very unique way. And I want to pay tribute to them. And of course, I do recognise the European Union, who have funded this initiative, and in particular mention, of course, to GIZ, who have been accompanying us on some of the project implementation aspects of the program.
Eu babi ni bina ko berito na ko temena kabuli beteni sami ko tora da ke tai no korondal na mano sa leben sa ka ki sa bulita sa me zaka